I am here today with a very special guest who, you are from Buffalo originally.
I'm born in Buffalo.
And what are you doing now? What is you?
Okay, let's see.
Because I heard you haven't slowed down.
Oh.
That was word on the street that I got.
Right. No, I haven't. I
Your other
haven't
half.
slowed down. I was so fortunate to work during the pandemic. I worked on Dune. I did
Oh, wow.
a lot of work on Dune, and
I'm so excited
finding
to see that.
my most of my work was collaborative and finding the right people for Hans Zimmer, for
Right.
him to utilize it like a toolkit to utilize the voices for his specific needs, and it's an amazing score. And then there's this wonderful female composer named Germaine Franco, who just did Encanto, and I contracted the choir for her for Encanto.
Wow.
And it's a great film. It's got a really nice message, and I used almost all Latinx singers.
Wow.
And I've done quite a bit of gospel choirs. I've done a lot of gospel choirs. And on Lion King, I also worked on Lion King with Hans Zimmer, the new one. I also
Which
did
is
the old
perfect,
one too.
because you have that background, so you can do gospel choirs.
I was always in the R&B community.
Right.
So I had a huge roster of gospel singers.
Right.
Luckily, in my industry, you put the word out, and you kind of dig into. It's like finding a gold vein that you tap into it. There's a little bit of gold, but there's a whole vein that goes along with that little bit that you start out with, and you start digging at that vein, and it just opens a treasure trove.
Right.
So I did that with Encanto, where I had a few really great Latinx singers, and then from that point, they said, "Oh, you have to hear this person. Oh, you have to hear that person," and so I said, "Yeah, let's bring them in. Let's bring them in." I have this lengthy roster going in so many different directions. My favorite thing is to do a global thing, like for Katy Perry and Harry Styles. I did what I call a global gospel choir.
Right.
So I'd have gospel singers. I'd have blue-eyed gospel singers, soul singers. I'd have African American gospel singers, and then I love doing this. I have a couple of Indian singers, classical Indian singers that sing in the different tonalities and the different modes. And when I say, okay, let's do an ad-lib track, and I say, okay, and I point to you, and you ad-lib, and I point to you, and you ad-lib, and the gospel people, they were just always awesome. But then the Indians, when I would point to Gaia, and I'd say, Gaia, you take it, she would do these riffs and stuff that people would go, what is that? Because it just, all of a sudden, it took it to this global thing that it was like, it was so cool, it was so soulful, but it was not African American.
Right.
It was definitely Indian. And I just like to hear the global perspective of singers, and I like to hear what they all bring to the party. It's all really soulful, but it's just really good.
There's so much richness in that. Because, when you tap into all these other cultures, and thousands of years.
Oh, you hear it. You hear the different soul aspects in all the cultures. And Harry Styles, he posted a video of him at the session where we did Sign of the Times, and they show him in response to the singers, and he's just like going, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. You know, all these gospel, and they're riffing up it, and he was blown away and loved it, and he posted it. so everybody could see,
Right.
you know, and I'm pointing at singers and I'm conducting singers, and I'm just going, go for it, guys, and they're just all nailing it, and
Right.
they're all
Wow.
stars. To that, they're stars,
That's
and they know that I
amazing.
adore them.
Yeah.
The singers, they know that I
Right.
adore them. That's really my passion,
Right.
is to find the singers that the composer is looking for,
Right.
to do exactly what the composer is hoping for, and maybe even beyond. And then there's another calling that I have, as far as when you talk about passion in your
Right.
work. My work is much more to me than just, it's relational.
Right.
It's encouraging, to encourage the young ones coming in, to
That's the key, the giving back, right?
but that it's so important. It's important for me,
Right.
but to mentor them without them really feeling like they're being mentored, but to
Right.
encourage them, to let them know when they contact me, to say, okay, this is what you need to do. You got to work on your sight reading. You know, these are the steps that you should take. I listen to every
Right.
MP3 that comes to me. I have coffee regularly with new kids that come in. One of the girls that I
That is so
brought into the
beautiful.
union,
Uh-huh.
she's up for a Grammy,
Oh my God.
best vocal arrangement, and
amazing.
she's killer. She's awesome,
Wow.
and I use her now in sessions as well.
That's
But
great.
before I go to a session, if I have a choir of 60 people, before I go to my session, I pray for every single person individually, and I don't even know what I'm praying for them.
Wow.
It could be for their
Right,
health, it
right.
could be for whatever. I've selected you, you're hand selected, you're prayed over, and I've had a guy come up to me and he said, did you pray for me? And I said, yeah, you know, I prayed for your heart. And he started to weep. And I said,
Oh.
what? He goes, you couldn't have known. You couldn't have known. I really like strong women.
Yes.
I like the strength that if they're opinionated or if they're strong, I gravitate toward that.
Yeah.
And I celebrate that. And generally that comes back to me. That
Right.
then they celebrate me.
And that's the thing, is women, we have to stop. You know, women compete over men, they compete over jobs, they compete, and they're the first to rip a woman down sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, she must have suffered. She must have
Yeah.
And it's like,
Or what a bitch, because
oh, what
you're
a bitch.
a biatch, I mean.
Biatch.
A biatch.
Right.
Because she spoke her mind, or she, you know,
Right.
if a
And
man did
it's-
the same thing, it wouldn't
wouldn't
matter. Yeah.
matter.
Be strong, and if there's a train coming your way, step out of the way of the moving train. Let it go by. Don't let it hit you. You know, don't take on somebody else's
Right.
anger or
Right.
somebody else's stuff. Just let them have their say. And
What do they say? There's your business, the other person's business, and God's business.
there you go.
Don't get involved. If they don't like you, that's their
Yeah.
business.
Right.
You know? If there's somebody sitting out there watching you who loves music, or anything in the industry, wants to do it, is doubting themselves, is wondering if they should go for it, what would you tell them about living their passion, about following their heart?
The first thing I would think of is not to be solitary. Find who the wise people around you are that are safe, and ask them, what do you think about how I play or how I sing? What is your opinion? What are your thoughts? And see if you find support with your passion, to see if your gifts match your passion. Because it's wonderful to be passionate, but if the gift doesn't match your passion, then it could be very frustrating. So find support with a safe person or safe people, and look and learn your craft, learn what it is. You might be passionate about many things. Just see where do the doors open and where do the doors close, where is there a window open, and just go through and just be willing to examine things, be willing to look at things, be willing to grow, listen, learn, be very, very humble in your state. Take on as much learning from people that you admire. Just follow your passion, and have a piece of humility when you go through it. Just say, I want to learn. I just want to learn, and I want to practice.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kat.
I love you.
I love you too. Oh.
Thank you so much for joining me today on this adventure into passionate living. And we hope you enjoyed all of our wonderful guests who were here today to inspire you to live your dreams and then to use those dreams to make a difference in the world around you. Make sure to join us every week on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. on your true hometown station, WBBZ. As well, you can join us on our website at passionateliving.com and on our YouTube channel, Passionate Living TV. And thanks so much again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week on an amazing journey into passionate living.